Hi, this is Kane Hodder. Hope to see everybody in Louisville at the Days of the Dead show, September 1st through the 3rd at the airport Crown Plaza. Come over here and have a good time. Maybe I'll choke you. Maybe you'll walk away. See ya.
Awesome.
You're listening to Dr. Vincent West on the FANTASM Podcast.
Welcome to the FANTASM Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Vincent West, and I'm here today with actor, stuntman, author, horror icon, Kane Hodder. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Awesome.
Oh, Doctor, what is that?
My fun name for the... yeah. So we'll just kind of start right off the bat here. How did you? This is stuff I'm dying to talk to you about. How did you get started with being a stuntman?
Very slowly. Once I decided that's what I wanted to do, it's easier said than done. It's the kind of business that's very, very difficult to get into because, it's a safety issue. Nobody wants to hire you to do something dangerous if they don't know who you are. And how do you get known doing stunts if nobody will hire you? So it's a real tough situation, and I didn't really have too many ideas about how to get started. I just went to LA and just started, banging on doors, really, and it took a long time, and first of all, you have to get into the Screen Actors Guild, because every stunt person, every actor in the business is a member of that union, and that's a very difficult thing to do. Once I did that, then I was technically eligible to do stunts, but then once again, like I said, nobody would hire me because I didn't have any reputation. I didn't have any family members previously in the business or anything, so it took a long time to get going, but every time I got a chance to do something, it renewed my energy to continue, because even though the first few jobs were very far between each other, I loved it so much that I couldn't wait for the next one, so I didn't really care how long it took.
Right.
And I was young enough, and, so eventually I started working more and more, and it was a very gradual process, and then I finally was able to make a living.
Talk with you saying here, Lone Wolf McQuade, was that the first film that you did?
It was the first film that I did anything of consequence in. It was the first time I went on location. I was in El Paso, Texas for 2 months.
Okay.
And working on the whole, from beginning to end. And so it was the first time I really did anything decent. And did quite a few fun things on that one. How
was Chuck Norris?
He's the best, man. He still is, because I worked with him, like I said, for that whole time, and then I did several episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Awesome.
After that. And he's just one of the good guys of Hollywood. There's plenty of assholes in this business, and I've run into some of those too, but he's one of the good guys, and his sons are, in particular, one of them, Eric, is a very successful stuntman, stunt coordinator himself.
Awesome.
And he has done very well, and he has the same type of attitude, just a good guy.
That's awesome. I noticed you had done stunt work in some Seagal films. What was that like, working with him?
Not quite the same. Not quite the same as Chuck. I did 4 films,
right,
with Seagal, and a lot lot of fun stuff in there, and did some fight scenes and some other stuff. And it was fun just because I was working and doing some good stuff, but little different circumstances.
Gotcha. I noticed you did stunt work in The Last Boy Scout. I'm a huge fan of that film. That's like my favorite Bruce Willis film. What was that like?
That was fun. I mean, I did a lot of driving stuff in that one.
That's amazing. I love that movie.
Oddly enough, was the first time that I ever worked with Danielle Harris.
Really? Oh, right. Yeah.
His daughter or whatever, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep, that's awesome. Go back to the horror stuff. So, Hills Have Eyes Part 2, was that your first horror film that you did stunt work in?
I believe it was.
What was West like?
Yeah, he was fantastic, and I've talked about this a little bit in my documentary, which just premiered in London.
To Hell and Back, yeah, the Kane Hodder story.
Yeah, right. It just premiered in London, so I was there with the director, and in the documentary, I talk about working on Hills Have Eyes 2, and this is the original Hills Have Eyes 2.
Right, yeah.
Because obviously, they remade 1 and 2 again.
Right.
But I doubled a character called the Reaper. I doubled him, and it was just a pleasure working with Wes, and that's why, years later, or I'm not sure exactly how long after, I'm going to look up something here real quick.
Sure.
Let's see. I just want to see when that movie came out.
Oh, 85.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay. Guess that makes sense. And then, well, the whole point being, shortly after I did that movie, I had a little meeting with Wes, and he said he was developing a new horror movie, and he was knowing that I had been burned, talking about it on the set. He knew I had burn scars.
Right.
And he said he's developing a new character, and he's thinking about using an actor that has real burn scars, just for the authenticity of the character.
Right.
And he said, yeah, the guy's name is going to be Fred Krueger. And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. And, of course, as we know, the following year, because the Nightmare came out 84, so we must have shot Hills Have Eyes before that.
Yeah, I think... because the Blu-ray, I think it said it was shot in like 82 or 83.
Yeah. I think it was like 83 we shot it, and then, shortly after that, he told me about this Fred Krueger thing, and as we all know, it went to a far more established actor in Robert Englund, and they went with makeup instead of real burn scars, but it's kind of a cool thing to have been, even if it was briefly...
No, it's awesome.
Considered to maybe play that character.
That's really cool. And then House in 86. I love that movie. That's a really cool film.
Yeah, I do too. And that was the first movie that I stunt coordinated.
Really?
So that was a big one for me, yeah. I was the stunt coordinator on it, did everything practically on it myself, but because I ended up doing all the House movies. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh yeah. I've actually got the Arrow box set, and then I've got the I guess it's House 3 in Europe, but it's the horror shows. What I've got the Scream Factory one. Yeah, I love those movies.
Yeah, because I did some interview stuff for that. Set, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That was a really fun movie, House. I just thought it was a very cool idea.
Oh, it is. It's great. It's I always harken back to that and getting
Steve Miner and everything. That was
it's awesome. Get to work with him.
That started my relationship with Sean Cunningham because I coordinated the stunts in every movie he did for a long, long time.
Oh, that's amazing. He's done some great stuff. Waxworks. I'm a big fan of that film, Waxwork.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then Deep Star 6, I'm also a big fan of.
Worked a couple days on that one, but, Tony Hickok, that was cool. And that Zach Galligan was in that, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I ended up killing him in Hatchet 3.
Yeah.
So all these people that I worked with in the past, I end up killing in one of the Hatchet movies. That Victor Crowley has now killed a Michael Myers, a Jason, Freddy, Candyman, Leatherface, all, Victor has killed all those characters in, one of the people that played them. So I think that's kind of cool.
Oh, it is. It's way cool.
We just made that full list with this last movie with Victor Crowley, so...
I can't wait. We're gonna dive right into that here in just a sec. I just want to ask you about a couple more of the older pictures if it's cool.
Sure.
Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk?
Yeah, I was a stunt coordinator and I stunt doubled R.A. Mihailov for some scenes as Leatherface.
So, what was that like?
That was great. I had some pretty big stunts to do in the movie. I had to flip a car and some other pretty good stuff. Get hit by a car as Leatherface. When the car backs into Leatherface and I go up on the trunk and then fall off, that was me doing that scene and stuff. And I kind of got I believe one of my undiagnosed concussions on that shot.
Oh, wow.
If you ever watch the movie again, it's very dark and kind of hard to see what's going on, but they get in the car, Bill Butler and Kate Hodge get in the car, and Leatherface is on the road, and they throw it in reverse and back into him.
Right.
He goes up on the trunk, and then they slam the brakes on, and he goes flying off. When I went flying off, you could see my head smack the pavement pretty good. So take a look at that next time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll do that later tonight, actually.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that movie. It was just really cool. And then, obviously, before I get to all the Friday the 13th stuff, I want to talk to you about the Hatchet. Now, how did the Hatchet role, the Victor Crowley role, come about?
Oddly enough, the guy that made me Jason, John Beekler, he was the one that pushed for me and convinced them that I should be the guy. And he was working with Adam Green when they were developing the story and stuff, and Beekler said, "Who's going to play Victor Crowley?" And Adam said, because nobody knew who Adam was at this time.
Right.
Adam says, I'd love to get somebody like Kane Hodder to do it, but I have no idea how to reach him. And Beekler says, okay, well, let me give him a call. So he called me and told me about it, and I agreed to meet with him and just see what he had to say. And I got such a good feeling during the meeting that I said, hey, if this ever happens, I'd love to play the character. And sure enough, he got it going.
That's amazing. Big fan. Those movies. First one really stuck out with me when I saw it, and it's just really cool. It's like nothing else was going on with that at that time. It's like a bunch of other like blah horror movies, and the Hatchet ones I thought were really cool. And to have you do a role like Victor Crowley, it's just really fucking cool.
Yeah, I love the character, and I love Adam's writing. I mean, he is so clever with his dialogue stuff. When you can have people, and it happens in every Hatchet movie that I've seen with an audience, it's scary and, you know, some crazy over-the-kill violence, but then you're also laughing because the scripts are so well written for the characters themselves that it's just a pleasure to watch that kind of movie. You're laughing one minute and then terrified the next.
Right. And then you have I guess would be the fourth Hatchet film. Is that right, coming out?
Yep. It's called Victor Crowley. We just premiered it like last week, on Tuesday of last week. And we did it in Hollywood, where everybody thought they were coming to see a 10th anniversary screening of the first Hatchet movie. So the theater was packed with that, and then Adam got up in front and said, "Thanks for coming, and by the way, this is the new Hatchet movie that nobody knows about, because we shot this thing last year."
That's awesome.
And everybody involved kept the secret, and I am astounded that actually happened. You shoot a movie, we shot it last September, and Adam said, "I'm not sure when this is coming out, please don't say anything." This is to the cast and the entire crew, and nobody let the secret out, and that's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. That's amazing. And now,
and nobody showed it in London too, like I said. So, but by that time they knew what it really was.
Right. And is that going to be playing in theaters and coming to Blu-ray and all that good stuff?
Eventually, but the problem is that once it's in digital form, then it gets stolen and pirated, and then there's no way to recoup your money.
Right.
You know, because there's the people out there that think they're Robin Hood and doing favors to people by putting stuff online so they can see it for free, have no idea that they're actually killing the low-budget film business. Not just horror films, low-budget films in general. If you can't convince a distributor how you can make your money back without a theatrical release, because everybody steals it, then eventually there are going to be no small movies anymore. And I wish people would realize that that's what's happening, instead of being like, I don't care, they don't need to make money, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put it online so everybody can see it. And, you're just killing jobs for people and everything else, and it just pisses me off.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I'm a big collector. In fact, I'm sitting near my collection. I've got thousands of Blu-rays and CDs. I still buy CDs and stuff. So,
thousands?
What's that?
Thousands?
Yeah, I've got thousands of Blu-rays and CDs. Yeah, I'm a huge dork.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
But yeah, I totally agree with you, and it makes me sick, to see stuff stolen like that, and first run movies, low budget movies, music, because it's just ridiculous, and
yeah.
But well, so Victor Crowley, that's exciting, and all the Hatchet fans out there, I'm sure, we're all excited to get to see that when we're able to.
Yeah, wait till you see the cast in it. It's really pretty cool.
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
I mean, it's on IMDb now.
Okay.
For so long it wasn't, but got some fun people in it.
It's amazing. So now I've got obviously been saving for this. I just want to tell you, first of all, since growing up with that, I'm older, and I love your portrayal of Jason Voorhees. Absolutely love it.
Oh, thanks.
And we'll go back in time here. How did that role come about for you to become Jason Voorhees?
Well, it's a story I've told before, but I'll try to condense it a little bit. I did a movie in Wyoming in 1987, I believe.
Okay.
Called Prison.
Love that movie. I've got it on Blu-ray right beside me.
Right. And, you know, I was a stunt coordinator on it, so I was on it the whole time. It was Rennie Harlan's first American film that he directed, and it was an amazing experience. And at the end, toward the end of shooting, John Beekler, who was doing the makeup effects on the movie, came to me and said, "Look, we built this makeup suit on another person, but he's not going to be playing the character. Do you want to do it?" And I hadn't really done any big prosthetic makeup jobs at all. I had a little bit on The Hills Have Eyes, but it was stunt doubling, so it wasn't really that big a deal. But he said, "Would you want to do it?" And I said, "Of course I want to do it. Sure, it sounds interesting." And he was really happy with my performance in the makeup, because it's a difficult thing to do, to act when you're covered in foam latex.
Sure.
And it's all glued on you, and you've been sitting in the makeup chair for 3.5 hours. And he just liked how I used it, how I really performed in the makeup. And the following year, he was hired to direct Friday the 13th, Part 7. And said, I know the guy I want to play Jason. So he brought my name up to them, and of course they had never heard of me.
Right.
And they're like, well, why him? And he tried to explain why, and he said, I'm really insistent that Kane Hodder play this. And, you know, the first 6 movies had been a different guy playing Jason each time, so they really weren't set on anyone. So they considered it, and Binkler took it upon himself to shoot a screen test of me in a version of the costume and makeup doing some Jason-type things.
Okay.
And he paid for it. He put it together and then presented it to Paramount, saying, "This is what the guy's going to look like when he plays the character." And they were very happy with what they saw, so I was given the job. And it's all because of Beekler liking what I had done and something else. So you never know. You know, you got to do a good job on one movie. You never know what it could lead to. And that's a perfect example right there.
I absolutely love, and I'm sure you've heard this a billion times, but the sleeping bag kill, man. That's my
favorite Jason kill.
Oh, it's so awesome.
But it's the only kill that tops that in my repertoire of kills is ripping of the woman's head apart in the first Hatchet movie.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. But that sleeping bag, I just love it because I'm killing someone with something that's not a weapon.
Right.
You know, that's pretty clever.
I hate that the way that the ratings, the MPAA or whatever, they got a hold of the film and just took out all the gore, it seems like. I mean, it's there, but...
Oh, no, it isn't. Nothing is in there anymore.
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah, I want a director's cut of that. I would love to see a director's cut of that film.
I don't think so. He knew it was just bad timing. Beekler knew that none of it would be left in, so he didn't even have the footage color corrected or anything. So I think the footage is in one of the extra DVD things or something, but it looks so bad with the time code on it and stuff. You can see what we shot, at least.
Yeah, it's cool.
But there's no footage of it that would be quality enough to insert into the film. Because, you know, when you make a film, you don't just film things and then edit it.
Right.
That's what color corrected and everything else. So,
did you see what they did with Exorcist 3, where they put his actual cut of it? It's real raw looking. They put it out on Blu-ray.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, actually, I tell you what, if you want, I've got an extra copy of it. I can mail it to you. It's a Scream Factory put it out. Yeah, man, I'll be happy to. A little gift for you for doing this for us. But it's the director's cut of that, and it was initially called Legion, which they changed that to. But it is a completely different film, and it is super, even though it's stock footage that they've put in the places of it, it is a gore fest.
Really?
Yes, and it's completely different, and it's the Mr. Blatty. It's his original vision of the film as he wanted it before they had a field day butchering it, and they restored it and put it.
You're not talking about the original Exorcist?
No, Exorcist 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. But it's really gory, man. It's like a totally different film, and it's got the original film on Blu-ray with it as well. And then, but to watch them completely, it reminds me of looking at the stock footage of, Friday the 13th Part 7, because it was like, my God, they really must have took it to them at the ratings thing.
Yeah, I have never had another movie so completely cut down as much as Friday the 13th Part 7. I mean, every single kill is almost nothing.
Yeah.
It just starts and then it goes to something else. And it's so frustrating to put all that work into something. And I can't imagine how it was for Bigler, being told that, no, can't have that, or else it'll have an X rating.
Right.
And, the ratings system is pretty arbitrary anyway. I mean, I don't like someone else deciding what I watch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Same here.
I just, I don't like it.
But I love the film. I love the psychic chick, and it's great. And your portrayal of Jason, to me, is just iconic. And then, which leads us into Jason Takes Manhattan. I absolutely love that film. The kills in that movie are fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and in 40 years of doing films that I've been doing it now, that one night of shooting in Times Square was probably the most amazing thing I'll ever experience, because the reaction of people seeing Jason out in public shooting a movie, because normally it's done in the woods where no visitors are ever around.
Right.
Now all of a sudden I'm in Times Square, and I never took the mask off when I was out there because I thought it would ruin the illusion and stuff. So I just stayed in character the whole night.
I love it. I love all the stuff on the boat. The rocker chick, I think, was my favorite kill on the boat.
Yeah. Guitar to the face.
Yeah, it's awesome. Of course, my favorite kill of the film is where you put the father into the you throw him out the window and then put him in the toxic waste.
Right. Yeah, which is not an easy stunt to do for the stunt guy. He put in a barrel of horrific shit, very viscous liquid type stuff. And I put him in there head first, slam him in there, and then he struggles for a while, and then has to die and slumped in there. Not an easy thing to do. I think that was pretty well done.
Oh, it's awesome. I just can't get it. I love that film. It's gotten to me just with age. It's one of my favorite go-to films in the series. I just really like it. I don't know. It's just fun. Was it fun shooting that film?
Yeah, it was. It really was. And I, was so happy to be the first person to play the character a second time.
Oh, it's amazing.
And never thinking I was going to do 2 more after that.
Right.
And that no one else would even do a second one. That is pretty humbling when you think about it. But I just loved playing that character.
Well, and I'll get into this when we get into even more stuff about Friday the 13th here in a minute, but if they ever do another film, they have to get you. I wanted you, here's a fun story. I'll tell you this. A lot of people don't know this. I refused and have still never seen Freddy versus Jason because you were not in it.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
I'm just not watching it. And I'll tell you another fun story. This is awful about the guy that played him. When we met Doug Bradley from the Hellraiser films, he was sitting beside me. This is a fun story. I'm not even making this up. This really happened. I was there with my wife, and we were talking to Doug Bradley, and Ken, I believe is his name, that was sitting to the other side of him. And he looked at me and he goes, "Nah, it's not Kane Hodder." And I go, "Yeah, it's not." And so we just sit there and kept talking. So Doug's a big fan of your work as well. I found out that day. So, but he was selling these shirts that says "Pinhead says no remakes" and all. It was just funny, but he was a character. But yeah, he's a big fan of yours as well. So,
that's funny.
But Jason Goes to Hell. How did that come about?
Well, I mean, by that time, fortunately, a lot of people thought I was kind of the guy. So I didn't have to worry. I was told right away that Adam Marcus wanted me to play the character again for a third time, and I read the script and thought it was a little strange, and I was like, not a whole lot of Jason,
right,
as we know him in the script, in the movie. But I'm not going to cause any waves and, give somebody a reason to not want to use me, so I approached it the same as always. Just like, it's a different look of Jason, but I'm going to treat it the same way, and there are some fun scenes in it, but ultimately I just thought it didn't have enough of the classic Jason in it.
It's a weird, I tried watching it a while back, and it's just a really strange film. It just is. It's. I mean, I like it kind of, but it's really weird. It's just a weird film to watch.
Yeah, it's certainly different, and then
it's super gory, though.
Yeah. And then you go to Jason in space, and that's even stranger.
It is. See, that was what I was going to tell you. That's my second favorite kill. Is the woman's face into the whatever, where you get her and you put her in the liquid and then you shatter her face.
Yeah, that was a great kill. And I didn't realize when I smashed the prosthetic head that I smashed it and lifted it up and the brain was sitting there. I was like, holy shit, that was good planning. I didn't know they were going to do that.
The Jason X, was that a fun one to shoot? Did you like doing that one?
Oh yeah, I loved that one because that was the first time we had a lot of money for the budget and a long time to shoot. I was on that film for 3 months, where the longest I was on one prior to that was 2 months. So we had another full month of shooting that movie, and it was interesting because I never shot one shot of that movie outdoors because it's always in space, and even the virtual reality scene with the campers
right.
and the lake and stuff, that was still on the sound stage.
That's awesome.
And we shot that in Toronto, so we shot the entire film indoors.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I like that film. I think it's fun to watch because I'm a big sci-fi fan anyway. So I didn't have an issue with it. It was different, but I thought it was cool. And as long as you were playing Jason, like I said, I know there were rumblings a while back, and you probably know more about this than I do. After the 2009 film, which I thought was a cool film. It was like Derek. I thought Derek was a kind of a cool. Derek Mears was a cool Jason. So
yeah.
It's not you. Yeah, it's not what I wanted, but I thought he did a good job. Were you ever approached about that 2009 picture, or?
Nope.
That doesn't make any sense to me. You would think that especially in the Freddy versus Jason, I always saw, I was like, why didn't they get you? I was like.
Yeah, I thought I was doing it. I was given the script and told by a New Line executive that we were doing this movie. So that pretty much told me I was doing it, and then suddenly I wasn't. So
Well, see, to me, that ruined it, and it wasn't. It was like any of my friends, same way. It's like, well, he's not in it. We don't want to see it. You know, I mean, because that's to go back and imagine that film being made with you in it with Robert is iconic. You know,
yeah.
But without you in it, it's just not the same thing. It looks.
It was a tough point in my career to be passed over for that. You know, bad enough to not get the job, but to not get it after I thought I was told I had it.
Right.
That's worse, you know. Forget about what we first said. You're not doing it after all, but I was never even told that.
That's ridiculous.
I was just ignored and never given a reason.
Well,
when I tried to find out why, nobody had a good reason.
I mean, if it means something to you ever since I was a kid, you're Jason Voorhees to me. You will be till I'm dead, and, you know.
Well, I appreciate that, and it does mean something because a lot of people tell me that, and so it's nice to feel that I'm not the only one that was disappointed by, you know, not doing that movie. I
mean, Corey's in his 20s, my co-host, the one you've been communicating with and stuff, and you'd met. Same thing with him. If it's not you, you know, we weren't interested in it. My wife's the same way. We're all three big fans, and several of my other friends as well. If it's not you, and then, which kind of leads me into the Friday the 13th, the game, which I play religiously. I'm actually a level 25 right now, which I'm pretty proud of. I'm trying to unlock the Part 9, Jason. But let's talk a little bit about that. Your role in Friday the 13th, the game.
Yeah, fortunately, the guys that were making the decisions for Gun Media and Bill Phonic were all of the opinion that the first choice of someone to do the motion capture for Jason was me.
Definitely.
And they really thought that was a clear-cut thing they wanted. So they approached me about it, and I had done some motion capture years ago for a game that was going to be about a summer camp and a killer. And the game never came out.
Really?
Yeah, so when I was approached again, I said, well, at least I have a little experience. I know how the mocap, you know, stuff works. And they were like, you got to do this. The gamers would want you to do this and everything, so I was all for it. I was back as the character, even if it wasn't in a movie. You know, it's the game, and we started the motion capture January of 2016.
Okay.
That was the first mocap session, and the most recent one was 3 weeks ago. So we're still doing it, even though the game is out. They're still doing more motion capture for more. I don't know if I'm really supposed to say, but just for more of the game. So,
well, there was rumors that they were going to put the Jason X in there, and then I know they did an update recently where it has like the mini maps on it, and you know,
right.
It's awesome. I love the game, and it's a lot of fun to play, and it's. I was so happy when I unlocked the Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason. So that's. And that's why I'm trying right now. I'm trying to unlock Part 9. So as long as I have all my Kane Jasons I can play as, I can do 7, 8, and 9. So.
Well, you never know what could happen in the future too. So.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is a lot of fun, and you know, when you consider that some of the movements I did were up for other people's Jasons, like Part 3, Brooker, you know,
right.
I had to do a little running in the motion capture, which you know that I always avoided doing because I didn't think Jason should run by the time I was playing the character.
Right, I agree.
But at the same time, Brooker did run. So if you're playing in a skin that looks like Part 3 Jason, you should be able to run. And sure enough, that's what they thought too. So it's kind of weird back as playing Jason, but doing things that I never thought I would do.
Right.
But then, of course, doing the stuff I always do, which is kill motherfuckers.
Yeah, which is awesome. Now, do you...
And at that last motion capture 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, they had a couple of big YouTube gamers come down and visit. And one guy had logged 600 hours playing the game.
God.
And the game had been out, a couple months, a little over 2 months. So that's pretty amazing to think you're playing 10 hours a day for 2 months.
No, I play it every night when I get off of work or I get out of school. I'm on there playing it, and it's so much fun. And
Easter eggs?
No, do what now?
Have you found some of the fun Easter eggs in the game?
Like the videotapes, I've not really. No, I haven't. It's awful to say I haven't. Half the time I'm running. Like if I'm a counselor, especially. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Here's a fun story. I have never won a game with a Jason that's using either 8 or 9. You can forget it. And I tell people, I'm like, we're fucked. If it's 8 or 9, if it's those Kane Jasons, we're fucked. We're dead. And that's the truth. And I'm like I said, I'm a level 25, which I'm pretty proud of. But Corey, my co-host, also, we've never got past a part 8 or part 9. It's funny, but it's the truth. And it's. Do you know? I was going to ask you. Do you know why they didn't put the part 4 Jason in?
No, I don't.
I don't either. I just thought it was kind of weird. I figured he would be in there, but I mean, I know he looks like the part 3 one, I guess, but
yeah, but you never know. Like I said, you don't know what's planned, and
oh, right.
There's some fun Easter eggs, like there's a photograph of me as myself somewhere on the wall.
I gotta find that. I'm gonna look for it tonight.
One of the buildings. And, there's all kinds of.
When I've seen, obviously, I got killed last night on Hodder's Pass.
Right, Hodder's Pass.
I got killed there, and then I was told you're the voice of the when you call the police.
In the game?
Yeah, that's the rumor that all the gamers were telling me.
I'll leave it at that then. You'll have to find out, won't you?
Yeah, I mean, I love that, but the game it's a lot of fun to play, and if you get real people that are competitive with it, it's just fun. But it's exciting, and I thought it was awesome when I saw. I guess they involved Tom Savini in it as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, and Harry Manfredini, who's doing all the music.
Oh, it's just really cool.
Yeah, and it's just very fun that. Harry always did the music for the House movies.
Right.
So I had worked with him before. But, Tom and I did a movie in Germany once, but we haven't done all that much together.
Oh, really?
We've known each other for years, but,
That's a winning combination for a new Friday the 13th film. You guys and him doing the makeup and yours, Jason. Oh, God, that would be...
And Corey Feldman back, wouldn't that be interesting?
Oh, God, yeah. I would just be...
That would be pretty cool.
It would be awesome, man. I mean, I had always heard, and I'm sure you've heard this more than I ever will, but where they were wanting to do a thing where all the girls that survived went after Jason together.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of good ideas I've heard. And, I would love to do it once more. Just one more time. The 13th movie. And, I just think it would be a good idea. I can still be pretty violent, so.
Oh, I have no doubt. It'd be amazing. But we'll get to this, and I'm so excited to talk to you about this. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to see it. To Hell and Back, your story, your documentary.
Yeah, my documentary, right. We got such a good response from the book when it came out unmasked.
Yes.
That, when I was approached by Derek to do the documentary, I wasn't as hesitant as I was to do the book because I saw how many people loved the book. So I thought, okay, maybe it'll be interesting. We can visit some of the places. talked about in the book and stuff, and and it's just getting very good response from the audiences that have seen it. It was, like I said, premiered in London last weekend, and I have reviews up on my laptop right now from it, and they're all really good.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I mean, like, as you already know, there's some difficult subject matter in there and stuff, along with the fun career things, but some of the subject matter is hard to watch and, hard to hear about, but without fail, that's what people respond to the most, so.
Well, it's about your life. I mean, I find anything about you fascinating. I mean, you're Jason Voorhees to me, so that's like
thanks. And I hope you like it when it's more available. We're doing kind of like you asked about Victor Crowley coming out. Adam's going to travel with it because of the thievery that happened, so he's going to travel with it, doing screenings around the country.
I'm going to have to catch one of those.
Yeah, I would suggest it because it's a fun movie, and a lot of people who are big Hatchet fans are saying it's their favorite one.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's the first three movies took place over one weekend.
Right.
Top,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They were just back to back to back. And then this one is, later. So it's an interesting development of characters and to see who's in it and stuff. It's just cool. And I think Victor might be his most brutal in this one. I'm not sure.
I can't wait. That's exciting. I can't wait because I really liked part 3. I thought part 3 it just blew me away. I mean, I like all 3 of them, but part 3 was
right.
I wasn't expecting it to be what it was. So I never know what you guys are up to when you guys are making a Hatchet film. So
we don't either half the time until we're on the set and Adam says, "Okay, here's some more of the script." So, he doesn't always give everything to everyone, which is kind of cool. Like I better not say too much, but part of this last movie, Victor Crowley, there was a section of the script that wasn't even given to the rest of the cast.
Right.
So that they wouldn't even know what was going to happen. I know it's a vague thing to say, but I think you'll know what it is when you see it. That even the cast that was at the screening Tuesday night in Hollywood, people that are in the movie were shocked when this scene came up because they never even had it in the script. I did, but they didn't.
That's hilarious.
So that's a cool thing. It's so much fun to work with Adam when he does stuff like that,
Well, that's cool. Hey, do you guys plan to do another Hatchet film after this one if it does well? And
I certainly hope so.
That's awesome.
I would love to, yeah.
Well, my dream is, I love that character, but like I said, I'm dying for the day when I see that you're Jason Voorhees again. So.
Yeah, I would absolutely love it.
You would think Paramount would be as popular as that game is. There's a life for that character. I can't believe that they're not getting somebody doing that.
Yeah.
And then I heard a while back they were remaking the very first film with his mom and all that stuff, and that never came to fruition, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know what the powers that be are thinking, but I would love to do it one more time.
We would love to see you do it. That would fucking shit. I would absolutely feel like a fucking teenager. I'd freak out, but.
I think it would be a good angle for press, too. I mean, because a lot of people would think it's very cool that I was back under the mask, and it would be a good way to, it would be a good angle for the press. I don't know.
What was that like when you did the Arsenio Hall show? That was so cool seeing that as a kid.
Yeah, that was funny as hell because he contacted me. He said, "I want you to be a guest on the show." I said, "Great, I'd love to." And he said, "I want you to be in character." I said, wait. I'm going to be a guest, but I'm in character. Now, I said, Arsenio, you realize I don't speak when I'm the character, right? He said, that's the whole point. So, he knew from the beginning it would be a funny bit, and he would make it funnier by acting uncomfortable and asking ridiculous questions and stuff. So, yeah, it was fun.
Loved it. Absolutely. I mean, what a way to promote that film, too.
I know.
It was so cool. Yeah. Just real quick, we'll talk about a couple other things. You're a big...
because I got to go shortly.
Oh, sure. You're a big poker man.
Yes, I am.
I did not know that. I thought that was really interesting when I read that.
I love the game of poker because it's not just all chance. It's kind of mathematical, which I've always enjoyed. That challenge. I love mathematical challenges, which is why I enjoyed stunts, because so many times you have to design and calculate a stunt mathematically and to make it safer and stuff. So I've always loved that, and I just love the game of poker because it's the only game in a casino you can win without having any luck.
Right.
If you're a good enough skilled player, you can still win money, even if you're unlucky. Any other game, you have to get lucky to win.
Right.
So I played in the World Series of Poker this year in Vegas.
Really?
And, yeah. And most people don't realize that the World Series of Poker is 70-some events. It's not just the one event that you see on TV. That's the main event. But there are 70 other events within the World Series of Poker over the course of 2.5 months.
Holy shit.
In Vegas. So various buy-ins, and every event you can win a bracelet, which is what everybody wants, because you show up at a poker table wearing a bracelet from a World Series event, people know you're a serious player.
Right.
And you can win a lot of money. It was just fun to do it. I met one of my new friends. I did a movie with a guy named Scott Barrows this year where I was a victim and he was the killer. And,
God.
Yeah, and I found out he was a big poker player. So later, we did that movie in May, and later in June, we hung out a little bit in Vegas, played a little bit of poker together, and it was a fun experience. I've always wanted to play in that event, and I will play in it every year now. I don't know when I'll play in the main event because, that's an event that takes place over 7 days.
Right.
So you have to really commit. I mean, if you're doing that well, the winner wins $8.5 million. So it's a sizable challenge.
Right.
There's a lot of players in it. But yeah, I love the game. I play whenever I can.
That's amazing. Well, to Hell and Back, the Kane Hodder story is traveling, and you can see that in theaters. Victor Crowley is traveling with the director, and you can see that in theaters. And you're going to be at Days of the Dead, Louisville, September 1st through the 3rd at Crowne Plaza.
Yep, I am here now.
Oh, you're there.
I came here straight from London instead of going all the way back to LA and then coming back here a day later. So I just came straight here. And, Days of the Dead are fun events, and got a lot of friends here this time. Even some people from Part 7 are here. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I heard that.
Bill Butler and Lar Park Lincoln are going to be here, I heard. So
that's awesome.
It's always fun to be, that's one of the best parts about doing a show like Days of the Dead or some of the other conventions, is that you show up there and you're going to have friends.
Right.
That you can hang out with because you've all done these shows before and you've done films together and stuff. So it's a lot of fun, and we all like meeting the fans and stuff, and we're going to have a good time. And I want you to keep an eye out for one other film that I did this year called An Accidental Zombie Named Ted.
Okay.
It is a horror comedy.
Okay.
hopefully, I am fucking hilarious in it. I play a character that I had a lot of fun with, that I hope I come off as funny, because I sure had a good time doing it. And, those of you that don't think I'm funny, I'm going to kill you. So, thinking I'm funny.
That's awesome. So definitely look out for that. That's amazing. And then you're going to be at Days of the Dead, Louisville, September 1st to the 3rd this weekend. To Hell and Back, the Kane Hodder story, the documentary about my favorite Jason, is in theaters. And Victor Crowley's traveling with the director, so you can go see the new Hatchet, and that'll be amazing too. And I can't thank you enough for doing this. You're a hero of mine. I've been a fan since the first Friday the 13th, and part 7 that I saw you in, and I'm just a huge fan. I can't believe that I got to interview today. It's amazing.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the fact that you were well-researched and very knowledgeable. It makes it a pleasure to do an interview with somebody like you, so thank you.
Well, no, thank you. This is amazing, and you'll see Corey this weekend. Corey's coming to see you at the convention, so...
Okay.
My co-host, and I'm going to send you, as I promised, I'm going to send you Exorcist 3 on Blu-ray.
Okay, cool.
So you can watch that cool director's cut.
Hi, this is Kane Hodder. You're listening to the Phantasm Podcast. Keep listening, or I'll kill you.
Whisper the cry farther down the line. There's a